Come on, Dak.
We doing that recording business?
Come on, Big Dak.
We on that, Big Dog?
We're on that, Big Dak.
Get there, Big Dog.
Dang.
All right, we made it through another week. Made it through another. How'd the week go?
Good. Had a great weekend. Went on a date.
Nice. Getting back in the swing of things,
Swinging things was good. It's real good. Had a good quality time. It was fun. That was fun for me.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did y'all talk about what was fun and what wasn't?
We didn't really talk about what was fun. I just listened. She wanted to know what I wanted to do, right? And I just said I'm having fun just being with you. Just being away, doing things that wouldn't normally do, or doing things that we do normally do when we just go to Amarillo to hang out, And one of the things that I wanted to do was play games at Synergy, and we did that before we went to go watch Bad Boys 2. It's good.
Okay. It's a good movie?
Yeah, it's good.
Or Bad Boys 4?
Bad Boys 4, yeah.
I don't know what it is. There's a bunch of them these days.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I didn't even know there was a 3, but I guess I've never seen it. Anyway.
Maybe that is 3. I don't know for sure.
I don't know. It was the newest one.
Okay, but it was good.
Yeah, we played games beforehand, and then we watched the movie, hung out. And another thing I wanted to do was putt-putt golf, but we didn't end up doing that. We had a long day of it, like shopping and going different stores, looking around, and we just called it good. Went to the hotel and hung out, and it was fun. That was fun for me.
Good.
She was a lot worried. She was more worried about what I wanted to do, and I was just more worried about having a good time. Don't have to do nothing crazy. Let's just relax. That's what we did. It was fun.
Yeah, usually whenever I go with my wife, I feel like I'm a limo driver.
Yeah.
Just driving her around. And to me, that's fun too. I like driving around, doing things together.
Yeah.
Watching her do her little quirks and stuff is funny. But that's me.
Yeah, it's just fun to see them have fun. Like I'm so stuck in work and recovery and other small jobs and stuff like that. So when we get a chance to just hang out with each other, it's relaxing and fun in a different way. You know what I mean? It's more personal time to kind of just know where each other's at, and it feels good to know where she is mentally, and
it's a relief for her also.
Yeah.
That's cool.
My main goal after having a date like that is just so that she knows that mentally I'm in a good spot to be able to do things like this and have fun without drugs or alcohol, you know? And I hope she sees it. I think she does, that I can have fun without those things. And it really means a lot to me to go out and have fun that way.
She probably appreciates it a lot more than you think she does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope so.
Can't assume.
I can't assume. Yeah, can't assume.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, kind of the direction I'm taking it off this week. I think we jumped the gun a little bit. I believe we kind of jumped the gun a little bit. We're talking about a lifestyle outside of it, and a lot of that's. And I'm looking at it at a perspective of my perspective. I've been in the game a little longer, walked a little bit longer, but sometimes we forget that what it takes to get started. So a couple of questions. One of the questions I'm gonna throw at you.
Yeah.
Don't freak out, but
come on, man. I'm ready.
All right. How did you decide that you needed to change? That you had a problem and you needed to change.
How did I decide?
How did you decide?
So that's a pretty easy question, actually. It's not easy until I come to the realization that I needed to change. Okay, so the way that came about was, for me, I was very. So when I gave everything up for drugs, right? Because I did. That's exactly what I did. I knew I was going down the wrong path, and when I started to realize I was losing everything, um, I honestly didn't believe that I was going to come back from it. You know, I thought I was stuck, and I believed the whole old saying, "Don't do meth, not even once." You know, because you're going to be on it forever.
It's
I
like a
believe that.
tattoo.
Yeah,
Don't get one tattoo, you'll get a bunch.
exactly. I believe that with all my heart that I would never get off of drugs because I was going so hard. And so for me, it was a very extreme thing. I gave up my house. I was homeless. Um, I robbed and stole just to stay high. I was in and out of jail. Hung out with a bunch of people I probably shouldn't have been hanging out with, and you don't. I mean, you know at the time, but eventually it becomes a lifestyle of these are just the people I'm with now. These are the people that are looking out for me, but I need to look out for myself as well. Like you can't trust nobody. You just you're around the dope at all times, and when there's not any, things get crazy. But when it came to the realization that I needed to change part was honestly it was the in and out of jail, and being in and out of jail gave me a lot of realization and time to think whenever it had been 6, 7, 8 months in jail, and realizing seeing people come in and out, realizing like, man, dude, I'm fucking tired of this. You know, I'm getting tired of this shit because I know as soon as I get out, I'm gonna be back in a week. You know, if I'm lucky. I mean, I was in and out of jail multiple times. I think one month, one December Thanksgiving, I had been. It was in like a 1 or 2 month span. I'd been in and out of jail about 13 times for different, theft charges and shit like that. Um, and it was all because of drugs, And I started to realize like, dude, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of not having shit. I'm tired of having to steal just to live. I'm tired of having to walk into, and by stealing I mean just going into a store, man, just to steal something to eat. I wasn't the kind of thief that would just steal shit just to acquire a bunch of things. I stole things just to get by. I stole things to get across. I stole cars just to get across town. I'm tired of walking.
Right.
And it wasn't like I was just a thief. And would fuck shit up. I have things that I need to survive, and that's what I would do. I would just do whatever I could to get that. And that realization of being in and out of jail, being tired of the person I've become, because I knew deep down I'm not this person. I knew the drugs were changing me. And so really, really it came down to just being in and out of jail. And actually that last time I was in jail for that long stretch, I read there was a study guide on Luke, and I read that whole study guide and all the parables, and it just went to show me that people had been going through tough times, and like the parable of the two guys that go and get a daily wage, and one of them was working harder than the other, I think is how it goes, and was upset that he got paid the same amount as the other guy. That one kind of stuck with me because for me, it was like, I've done all this good in my life, and I'm getting this sort of treatment because of my actions when other people were doing the same thing. It was kind of like a poor me type shit, like other people were doing the same thing and getting away with it, but I'm getting locked up for my actions.
Right.
And it
Not really seeing that's what you agreed to.
right, and that it all came down to the realization that like, dude, I'm doing this to myself.
Yeah.
It's not what I signed up for, but it is. You know,
It is.
I made the decision to do drugs,
Yeah.
and I don't got any control over what anyone else does in their life. It's me.
All right. Well, okay. So run me through the thought process that you were going through when you decided that you was an addict.
So, um, coming to the realization of that was kind of tough because I honestly didn't believe for a long time that I had a problem. Even when I was homeless and didn't have shit, I didn't think I had a problem, dude. You know, because I I didn't have a problem because I didn't I wanted this. You know what I mean? Like I chose to be homeless.
Yeah.
I chose to not go to work. I chose this lifestyle. So it's there's no problem with me because I chose this, right?
Yes.
And when I started to realize, okay, now I have a problem because I created a problem, right? I created this mindset of I'm not gonna stop and I'm never gonna stop because I can't. That's the problem that I created, right? Uh, and hearing people say, "Hey, man, you know, you got a problem, you got to change," and seeing some of my best friends in tears that are trying to help me out, you know, and just give me some of their advice, knowing that they're probably not gonna stick, but seeing some of my best friends in tears, just walking, like just seeing me and seeing them tear up whenever I would say hi to them, and they
Yeah.
couldn't really talk to me because I'm just not the person you need to be around.
Not the devil you think I am.
Yeah, exactly. It hurt me.
Yeah.
It hurt. It hurt to an extent to where I'm like, okay, I mean, obviously there's something wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't ever click until your mind is sober enough to realize it. And that's what jail did for me was get me sober enough and get my mind thinking correctly to where I could say, okay, I'm tired of this, you know. So just getting my mind clean for a minute, and it doesn't have to be jail that does it. It was just how it happened for me. Uh, Actually made me come to that realization, and then when I came here, it kind of clicked when I went to these meetings.
Confirmed it.
It confirmed that everything I was clearly thinking that I was doing wrong was confirmed in the meetings. So then that's when I made the fucking decision when I got to my room that day was I need to change. I have all of the equipment right in front of me to do something. All I have to do is read it.
Right.
And then once I read it, I need to apply it.
Right. Well, I'll go and I'll jump off that a little bit. So for me, I wasn't when I came here. I wasn't really looking to get sober. I was just looking to uh, stop feeling lonely, I, stop hurting,
Yeah.
stop getting the results I was getting. Uh, I came to this place trying to figure out how I can get somebody else to make my decisions for me because all the decisions I made before that didn't work,
Mm.
and I was scared to make a decision. So I started reading a big book and on page 2021 where it's uh, talking about the real alcoholic, uh, and I read that. I was hoping that I'd be like a hard drinker. You know what I mean? The hard drinker, where you can drink as much as you want and be able to quit any time. When your responsibilities come up, you can quit. But as I look back on my life and my actions, that wasn't really true.
Mm.
So it turned out that I wasn't a moderate drinker and I wasn't a hard drinker. I was an alcoholic. So that realization, I knew it, but I was hoping that I was just a hard drinker,
Yeah.
looking for the loophole. But
Yeah.
but when I read that book, I saw a lot of myself and a lot of my actions, a lot of my characteristics in the first two chapters. I even found even though it's an old story, but I even found myself in Bill's story. And for me that's when stuff started clicking. That maybe I have a problem. I just want to stop feeling lonely. I just want to stop hurting.
Did did you get tired of being so for me, I also and after while you're saying that the loneliness, I got tired of feeling invisible in front of people that I knew.
Oh, I knew all about the
Oh,
invisible.
dang.
Yeah, I knew all about it.
Yeah.
I was tired. Like I was telling you, is I I was scared to make a decision because every decision that I made from that point all the way from the start to that point has been wrong. It's been wrong. Only right decisions I've made was to prison. Luckily, not to death.
Yeah.
But I knew that I was in a position to where I had nobody to blame but myself. I had nobody to blame but me. I did this. I made these decisions. I can't blame this on X, Y, and Z. I made these decisions, and I didn't want to make any more because I didn't have any the full confidence in myself to make a decision, and I just wanted to stop hurting. I wanted to stop being lonely, and I realized that the decisions I made were based off drinking and drugging,
Hmm.
and if I could work, that's what I would spend my check on. If I could scrounge up a little bit of money, that's what I would spend that on. If I could get somebody to steal for me, that's what we spent that on. We got I got drunk and high before the motel room was paid for.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I know exactly
So
what you're
my
saying.
life revolved around that, and that's the insanity of this whole thing. Is we'll make those decisions thinking that they're sound decisions, and then worry about everything else later.
Hmm.
And that's what I was talking about last time. We choose one thing over everything, and that's how I lived. I chose one thing over everything, and that there's no doubt in my mind that I could that I was not who I am. I
That's a
mean, that's just what it was.
that's good.
So leads me to this next point. What is what's some things that we think that we have control over?
Oh shoot.
Just a couple things, one or two.
Oh, I don't. What I thought I had control over is outcome. You know what I mean? In like I knew that if I did this, I could get this. If that makes any sense. You
Yeah,
know, I had the I had the answer before I even did it. I had it all in my head. It was scheming.
yeah, of
I was
course.
just in control of scheming on shit, you know? And it's just what it was. I thought I was in control of the outcome. And it isn't until you're in jail that you realize, fuck, I'm not really in control of the outcome of this situation, And I also thought I was in control of, shit, I thought I was in control of myself, but I wasn't. I thought I had control of me, and I didn't. The the drugs were controlling me, you know. The and it wasn't just that. I mean, it was the drugs, the sex, or the benefit of whatever I did controlling me. It wasn't me, right? I couldn't control myself. It just opportunity was there. I took it, right? I didn't have any control. I was just. It was like being in a. It was like being in a movie and not controlling, not be or like playing a video game without having the controller.
Yeah,
You're just watching somebody play the game. Like I'm there, but the drugs just don't. It's happening, and you're there, and you know what's wrong and what's right, but you're not in control of it. I mean, that's how it was for me. I don't know how it was for you.
What do you? What my deal was is I always try to control situations and people,
Mm, yeah,
situations and people, and if they didn't act a certain way I thought they should act, or things didn't happen the way I'd lose my shit.
yeah. See, I didn't.
You know, I that's the ego I had.
Yeah,
Is I thought that I could control everything. Uh, I was the director. I was the producer. I was the set guy. I was the light guy. I was the script guy. You know, I was the guy that was playing the music, the camera, all that.
you were in control.
I was trying to run the whole show. And if things turned out well, then hey, look what I did.
Yeah,
If things didn't turn out very well, poor me.
yeah,
Y'all poor me, and if y'all would have done what I told you to, it'd have been great.
yeah.
You know,
See, it wasn't like that for me. I was by myself most of the time. I was alone, like straight up fucking by myself, and I didn't have control of shit. Really, just my actions, like what I needed, what I wanted, or what I needed to do to get what I wanted. That was all I was in control of. I didn't have anybody that I could trust, and if I was around people and I didn't like what was going down or they weren't doing something I fucking was gonna benefit from, I was out, dude, quick. Like I was just by myself.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. But that's the way it was for me. And the only thing I've learned that I have control over today is how I respond to things, how I act, how I handle situations, my feelings, my emotions.
Yeah.
I have control over those things, but anything outside of me, I have no control of. And that leads me into the next deal is what are some things that you must give to God? What are some things that you have to give over?
Oh my, for sure, for sure. That's my defects of character, which I didn't realize I had till I did a went over my life with somebody else. You know, until I sat down with somebody and said, "Dude, I need some help. Let me put it on the table. Let me surrender really quick, right? Let me tell you what I've done, and I want some feedback." You know,
Yeah,
and when I did that with you, I figured out, okay, I'm selfish and self-centered. You know what I mean? It sucks to say this stuff, but it sucks because it's true. You know, and it's never just like it becomes easy to say these things, but it also just sucks because it's a reminder that I need to go over this again. You know,
yeah.
but I'm selfish, self-centered. I'm a liar. I'm a manipulator. You know what I mean? I only look out for me. I saw myself in other people and looked up to people and said, yeah, I had a problem with saying yes to everything. You know, I could not say no, and that's probably my biggest one is having to give that up to God. I take all those things and sit down and pray about them. Really, not even, and it doesn't have to be like the spiritual thing because I know some people aren't into that. But like, just for me, is sit down and tell God, look, I'm ready for you to help me work on this.
Yeah.
It's not just take them away. I don't want to be delivered, bro, because that would not work for me. I'm just saying if deliverance works for some people, great, that's cool. I don't believe that would work for me if it was just taken away.
Let's just say he takes you out of a situation. You have to do the work to keep from going back.
Yes.
Let's say that's deliverance.
Okay. Yeah, if he does that, then yes, I can handle that. You know, If I have to take care of it myself to show that I'm growing, great, do it that way, man.
Yeah.
Because I've always been a type of person that if you're on my ass about something, or if you're showing me the way, I got it. And it's a hard thing for people to see is the path. After you've prayed that prayer, or after you've given these things up to God and been honest about it, and it doesn't have to be God, just giving it up to somebody. Now you got somebody saying, "Hey, bro,
We're working on
you
this.
might want to calm down,
Yeah.
or you think about it like this because I can see you're being selfish about this." When you have that accountability, not just with God or whoever it is, it helps me become delivered right where I need to be to figure this situation out or to work on this character defect.
Yeah.
So that's what it's been for me. I need to go over my life, jot down the things that somebody points out that repeat itself in my story that I'm not seeing, I'm not catching on to. You tell me what that is, or write it down, and then I tell God, help me work on this, right?
Right.
And then I'm put in situations where I got to work on it.
You have to.
That's the
You got what you prayed for.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it is for me.
Well, things that I must give over to God is everything. I'm going to say everything. And the reason why I'm going to say everything is because I just have to do my part. My part is the most important of my situation. Whatever I do, that's what I'm responsible for. Whatever happens around me and whatever goes on around me, that's God's part. That's God's part. Yes, I have character defects. I have people that I talk to those character defects about. But I'm going to put myself in a situation to where I have to deal with that. But that's on me. How other people handle those situations or see those situations or receives those situations, that's on them. I just got to do my part. My part is I can't do it alone. I have I have no control over the situation. I can't do it alone, and I need something bigger than me to take care of it. All I got to do is continue doing my part. Everything outside of me, that's what I give to God.
And I mean, it's just real quick. When I'm put in this position to where I realize, okay, this is where I got to work on my selfishness, right? And when it clicks and I do my part, I also have to give him thanks. Like, thank you for that situation.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing me that, and thank you for the way I handled it.
And I hate this saying, thank you for putting me right where I needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for putting me in that spot right where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And that's about all you can do. That's like it talks in the Beatitudes where being pure in heart. Well, being pure in heart is being able to see God in every situation, and that's going to battle my negative attitude or my negative thinking or my negative emotions. Is being able to see God working in a situation where I can't. I don't have the ability to make it a good outcome. But with his reliance, knowing that I'm in a situation for him, it's going to happen the way it should happen.
Yeah.
I just have to do my part. I just got to do my part to do the next right thing because it's the right thing, and that's integrity.
That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to work on the things you said you wanted to work on.
Yes.
I mean, it's just accountability in a higher essence, I
And
guess. You could say.
that's how you don't keep going back to where he pulled you out of,
right,
or helped you get out of. Like you got, let's say, he delivered Moses and his people out of Egypt. It took them 40 years to get Egypt out of them.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
I believe that's kind of what we're talking about.
Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about.
We're out of it. We acknowledge that we can't do it on our own, And maybe it's going to take 17 years to get Kindle out of Kindle.
Damn.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
And
That's tough.
and kind of like you were saying at the end of the last week was, it's a journey. Get in the car, we're coming. It's a ride to the top, and it's not a straight line. You're going to have some hills. You're going to have some valleys. You're going to have some rivers you got to swim through. But every valley, every mountain, every pond or river you got to swim through, that's where the lesson is. He's taking something out of you and replacing it with something else. If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense to me.
So how would you... I got another question, but we can save it for next time. How would you want to wrap this up? What are we going to go home with?
I mean, I think the gist of what everything we just talked about was just pretty much, have you realized that you're ready to give up some things for the greater good for yourself? I guess that's kind of what I'm getting. Are you ready to make a change, and not just change yet? Change doesn't have to happen yet. Are you ready to just surrender some of these things that you can't control to somebody else?
Stop playing God.
Exactly.
Stop playing God. Just know we don't have any power over these things. When we try to control things, our life becomes unmanageable. We need to rely on something bigger than us, and we need to be able to trust that thing that's bigger than us, that I call God. Other people have other words for it, but I need to be able to trust God in all these things that are happening in my life, and just know it's for the good. It's for the greater of the good. Because at this point in time in my life, I haven't even started cleaning up the wreckage of my past. This is just me surrendering and being convinced that my life ran on self is a mess.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Exactly. Pretty much give somebody a chance to help, no matter who that is.
Yeah.
Give somebody a chance to just give you a hand.
We're at the starting line.
Yeah. Give it up, man.
Walk with me.
Let's smoke.
Let's do it.
Come on, Dak.
We doing that recording business?
Come on, Big Dak.
We on that, Big Dog?
We're on that, Big Dak.
Get there, Big Dog.
Dang.